Pacific land. So, let me just check to make sure we're online.
We will also be very satisfied.
Whoops. Doesn't look like we're online. Hold on a second.
Srila Prabhupada ki
What?
jai.
Oh, was live. What happened here? Hold on a second. This is not working properly. It's not showing me. There's a little glitch in the matrix. Hold on a second. Oh. Okay. There's definitely a glitch in the matrix. All right. Sorry for the delay, but this happens. Let me just see what's happening here. It's important we're able to stream live on Facebook simultaneously. All right, let's see. bkgoswami was live. Not live now. Let me just check my YouTube channel. And if so, then that'll be enough for tonight. Videos. Live. Yeah, we're live on YouTube. But not live on Facebook. Okay. Maybe give me one more second to try to fix this. Sorry for the delay, everybody, but I'm just trying to fix our streaming platform. I'll give everybody an opportunity. Okay. All right. One second. Okay. There we go. All right, multi-stream. Linked. It's connecting. Just toggle off. Toggle back on. Nope. Give me a second. Almost finished. All right, multi-streaming. I think we solved it. Okay. All right. Sorry for the delay, but took a little technical work. And we are live. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Technician, me. Okay. So now let's do, as we normally do during this Kartik month, we're going to chant the Damodarashtaka prayers. Alrighty. And then we'll go on to the Caitanya Caritamrta. Namam Vishwaram Satchidanandurupam Vasatmangalam Gopulai Rajamanam Yasodaviyo Ukanandavamanam Param Vishyamatchanda Shakamba Vivekananda Sita Drivandamukta Akibaram Ididrix Lila Beer Ananda Kunde Swagoshani Majandam Dageshu Bhaktani Tatvam Purak Premadastam Shataritivane Varam Deva Moksham Na Mokshavadeva Vachanya Pranayam festivus stati dinambadano Brahmanesha Madhya made Yakshirasha Kuveratmajobata Mujaya Vidyana Dvayamujita Bhakti Vajogajoja Nata Prema Bhakti Swa Kame Priyacha Namo Shri Guru Mesti Namo Narayana Namaste Sudamne Puratiptiname Madhyodarayana Vishvashadame Namo Radhikaya Radhiya Priyaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Dubhyam Namo Narayana Namo Narayana Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravatikacharya Osotela Sitashi Shimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananda Goti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Param Say Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radhakrishna Gopi Gopinath Swayam Kunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Mathuram Ki Jai Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Srimati Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaura Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nivashesha Shunyavadi Paschacha Dejatarani. So I offer my Omaganata Vedanta Shagananjana Shlakaya Chakshur and Meditam Yena Tasmai Shigadvena Maha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who so kindly opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge while I was blinded in the darkness of ignorance. So let us read the translation to the Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, manifested in himself in Gokula, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord Damodar I offer my humble obeisances. Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick, and his Mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes. He shivered in fright, and his pearl necklace shook. To the Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, who was bound by his devotee's love, I offer my humble obeisances. Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who were attracted only to his majestic aspect of Narayan and Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals. I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To the Supreme Lord Damodar my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your feature of Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart. O Lord, the cheeks of your blackest lotus face, which is inserted Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow and am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy upon me, uplift me, and protect me with your nectarian vision. O Lord Damodar, in your form as a baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva, and Nalakuvara, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in the same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence. O Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound with a rope by Mother Yashoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and to your unlimited pastimes. Jai. Lord Damodar ki Jai. So, let's continue with the study of Caitanya Caritamrta. And again, I'd like to apologize to everybody for not informing everybody overseas that we just set the clock back 2 days ago. Because we're going back to normal time from daylight savings time, so that means for most of you around the world, that means the class is actually an hour later. Because, anyway, I guess you understand the mathematics. We set the clock back, and it takes us an hour longer before we give class, and that means it's going to be an hour later for you in New Zealand, Australia, Fiji, and where you may be celebrating daylight savings time, or you're not celebrating daylight savings time. But in any case, we should inform everybody when we switch times. So, let's go. So, Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Alrighty. So, okay, just a little note about what's coming up, just so you all know. So, anyway, so on Thursday, or on the 11th here, it's Gopashtami and Srinivasacharya's disappearance, Gadadhar Pandit Das Goswami's disappearance. And next weekend I am going to Mexico, so I'm going to try to continue doing the class, but we will see what Krishna wants, if it is possible. Okay, so let's continue with the Caitanya Caritamrta without further ado. So, Tabe Rupa Goshani Sabanija Ganaladha Ekamasa Darashana Kaila Maturaya Rahiha. So, of course, we were just describing in the last class how Gopal, who was the deity installed by Madhavendra Puri, who later on became Srinathji, installed in Natwar, because he was originally on Govardhan Hill, Lord Chaitanya and his associates didn't want to climb Govardhan Hill to see him, but Gopal made some tricks. He made believe the Muslims were attacking, so they took him off of Govardhan Hill, hid him in different villages like Antuli or Mathura, and different devotees like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, Lord Chaitanya is God, but he's a devotee. And the Goswamis of Vrindavan were able to see the Gopal deity. And here in this verse, it's described that Srila Rupa Goswami and his associates, when they stayed in Mathura for 1 month, they were able to see the Gopal deity because the Gopal deity was being hidden there from the Muslim attackers. So, Sange Gopala Bhatta Dasu Raghunath Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami Ara Lokanath. When Rupa Goswami stayed at Mathura, he was accompanied by Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Lokanath Das Goswami. Prabhupada explains that Sri Lokanath Goswami was a personal associate of Caitanya Mahaprabhu and a great devotee of the Lord. He was a resident of the village named Talakori in the district of Yashohara, Jeshwar in Bengal. Previously, he lived in Kanchadhapada. His father's name was Padmanabha. And, wait a second. And his only sibling was a younger brother named Pragalbal. Following the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Lokanath went to Vrindavan to live. He established a temple named Gokulananda. Srila Narottam Das Thakur selected Lokanath Das Goswami to be his spiritual master, and Narottam Das Thakur was his only disciple. Because Lokanath Das Goswami did not want his name mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrta, we do not often see it in this celebrated book. On the EBR Railroad, the Yashohara station is located in Bangladesh. From the railway station, one has to go by bus to the village of Sonakali, and from there to Khijura. From there, one has to walk, or during the rainy season, go by boat to the village of Talakari. In this village, there are still descendants of Lokanath Goswami's younger brother. At least this was at the time when Srila Prabhupada was writing the book. So, Lokanath Goswami, he was sent to Braj long before the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. And it is described that Lokanath Goswami did not want to see Lord Chaitanya taking sannyas. So therefore he was sent before Lord Chaitanya took sannyas. And he never saw Lord Chaitanya, at least externally, again in this, I don't want to say lifetime, but in this pastime. Don't say lifetime for a pure devotee. So in this pastime, he never saw Lord Chaitanya again, because when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, where Lokanath Goswami had been sent, Lokanath Goswami was looking for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in South India. And then when Lokanath Goswami went back to Vrindavan, Lord Chaitanya had already left Vrindavan. And then Lokanath Goswami wanted to go see Lord Chaitanya in Jagannath Puri, but Lord Chaitanya appeared to him and appeared like in a dream, a vision, and said, don't go, just stay there in Vrindavan. And Lokanath Goswami and his great associate, Bhugarba Goswami, established all the holy places, or the groundwork for the holy places, that were later be established by the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. So it was very important that he was there originally to lay the groundwork for the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan when they came later. So now we're going to hear about Bhugarba Goswami, the associate of Lokanath Goswami. They were inseparable. Bhugarba Goswami, Hara Sri Jiva Goswami, Shri Yadavacharya Hara Govinda Goswami. Bhugarba Goswami as Shri Jiva Goswami, Shri Yadavacharya, and Govinda Goswami also accompanied Srila Rupa Goswami. Shri Udavadas Hara Madhavadvijana, Shri Gopala Dasahara Dasa Narayana. He was also accompanied by Shri Udavadas Madhava, Shri Gopal Dasa, and Narayana Das. Govinda Bhakta Haravani Krishna Dasa Punarikaksha Ishana Aralagu Huri Dasa. The great devotee Govinda, Vani Krishna Das, Punarikaksha, lotus size. Ishan and Lagu Haridas also accompanied him. Lagu Haridas should not be confused with Juna Haridas, who committed suicide at Prayag. Generally, a devotee is called Haridas, and consequently, there were many Haridases. The chief was Thakur Haridas. There was also a Majma, that means middle. Majma Haridas. Lagu means light. Anyway, it's interesting. Majma Haridas. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, 6th wave, there is a list of many of the chief devotees who accompanied Srila Rupa Goswami. Goswami Gopala Bhattahati Tuyamaya Bhugarbha Shri Lokanatha Gunera Halaya Shri Madhava Shri Paramananda Bhattacharya Shri Madhu Pandita Yanra Charitra Hascharya Prema Krishnadasa Brahmachari Yadavacharya Narayana Kripavan Shri Pundarikaksha Goswami Govinda Ishana Shri Govindavani Krishnadasa Atyudara Shri Udava Madhya Gaudayat Gati Yantra Dvisha Haridasa Krishnadasa Kaviraja Shri Gopaladasa Yanra Olokika Haya Shri Gopala Madhavadi Yateka Vaishnava. The following Vaishnavas were present with Srila Rupa Goswami: the merciful Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Bhugarbha Goswami, Shri Lokanath Das Goswami, Reservoir of Good Quality, Shri Madhava, Shri Paramananda Bhattacharya, Shri Madhu Pandit, whose characteristics are all wonderful, Preme Krishnadas, Krishnadas Brahmachari Yadavacharya, the merciful Narayan, Shri Pandurika Aksha Goswami, Govinda Ishana, Shri Govinda, the magnanimous Vani Krishnadas, Shri Udava, who occasionally visited Bengal, Dvija Haridas, Krishnadas Kaviraj. Wow, Krishnadas Kaviraj was there too. The author of the Caitanya Caritamrta. Wow, this is wonderful. So, it's very nice. Shri Gopal Das, whose body is completely spiritual, Shri Gopal Madhava, and many others. Esava Mukhya Bhakta Lana Nija Sanghe Shri Gopala Darashana Kaila Bahu Range. It was with great jubilation that Rupa Goswami visited Lord Gopal, accompanied by all these devotees. Ekamasa Rahi Gopala Gela Nijastane Shri Rupa Goswami Aila Shri Vrindavan. After staying at Mathura for 1 month, the Gopal deity returned to his own place, and Srila Rupa Goswami returned to Vrindavana. Pratstabe kahilun Gopala kripara khyana tabe Mahaprabhu gela Shri Kamyavana. In the course of this story, I have given a description of Lord Gopala's mercy. After seeing the Gopala deity, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Sri Kamyavana. Wow. So we're still in the middle of the narration of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's visit to Sri Vrindavana. So now he's going to Kamyavan. Kamyavan is mentioned in the Adi Baraha Purana. Chaturdam Kamyakavanam Vananam Vanam Uttamam Tatra Gatva Narodevi Mamaloke Mahiyate. Lord Shiva said, the best of all forests is the fourth of these, named Kamyaka. O Goddess Devi, any person who goes there is eligible to enjoy the glories of my abode. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, 5th wave, it is also said, E Kamyavane Krishna Lila Manohara Karibe Darshanastana Kunda Vahutada Kamyavane Yatta Tirtha Lekha Nahitara. In this Kamyavana, Krishna performed enchanting pastimes. Here you will be able to take darshan of many ponds and other transcendental spots. I cannot even describe in writing all the sacred tirthas found at Kamyavan. I'd like to go back there. Of course, it's all part of Braj. This is all part of Vrindavan area. So remember that. All right, next text. Prabhura gamana riti purveye likila semat vrindavane tavat dekila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tour in Vrindavana has been previously described in the same ecstatic way he traveled all over Vrindavana. Tahan lila stale deki gaila Nandishvara Nandishvara deki preme ahila vivala. After visiting the places of Krishna's pastimes at Kamyavana, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Nandishvara. While there, he was overwhelmed with ecstatic love. So, purport. Nandishvara is the house of Nanda Maharaj, or Maharaj Nanda. So, sometimes called Nandagan. And there's Barshana, there's Nandagan, and Kamyavan. And so, okay, let's describe what this is. So, it's called Nandishvara because the Nandishvara hill is considered an incarnation of Lord Shiva or Lord Shiva's bull. And just like you have three wonderful hills, actually many more than that, but three very auspicious hills in Vrindavan, there's Govardhan, which is Krishna himself. There's Nandishvara, which is considered Lord Shiva, and the Barshana, which is considered an incarnation of Lord Brahma. And of course, Barshana is Radharani's place, where Radharani's family lived. And there is Nandagan, is where Nanda Maharaj, and of course Krishna, when he was a kid, lived there. Pavanadi Sabakunde Snana Kariya Lokera Puchila Parvata Uparayana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bathed in all the celebrated lakes, beginning with Lake Pavana. Thereafter, he climbed a hill and spoke to the people. So this is Nandishvara. The Pavana Sarovar is described in the Mathura Mahatmya. Pavane Satasi Snatva Krishnam Nandishvare Garam. Drishvanandam Yashodam. Chasara Vishdam Avapnuyat. One who bathes in Pavana Lake by Nandishvara Hill will see Krishna there along with Nanda and Yashoda and will fulfill all his desires. I think I bathed there. And those of you who want to go to Vrindavan with us can actually bathe there too. Kichu deve deva murti haya parvato pare lokakahi murti haya gopara viture. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, are there any deities on top of this hill? The local people replied, there are deities on this hill, but they are located within a cave. So these deities were deities of Nanda Maharaj, Yashodamaya, Krishna, and Malaram. Dvidake Mata Pita Pushta Kalevara Majyeka Shishuhaya Tribanga Sundara. There are a father and mother with well-built bodies, and between them there's a very beautiful child who is curved in three places. Now, I don't think anybody can guess who that child was that was curved in three places. Great mystery, of course, Krishna. Shuni Mahaprabhu Mane Ananda Pana Tinamurti Dekela Se Gopal Udhadiha. Hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. After excavating the cave, he saw the three deities, Prajendra Vrajeshvarira Kaila Charana Vandana Premaveshi Krishnera Kaila Sarvanga Sparshana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered his respects to Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, and with great ecstatic love, he touched the body of Lord Krishna. Wow. Sabadina Premaveshe Nrichagita Kaila Tahan Haiti Mahaprabhu Kadiravana Haila. Every day the Lord chanted and danced in ecstatic love. Finally, he went to Kadiravana. Kadiravana is described in the Bhakti Ratnakara, fifth wave. Dekha Kadiravana Vidita Jagate Vishnu Loka Prapti Eta Gamanana Matrete. Behold the forest named Caritamrta, renowned throughout the universe. If one comes to Caritamrta, he can immediately be elevated to Vishnu Loka. Actually, I went there too. But I'm still here in the material world. Lila stala deki tahan, gela sishashyai, Lakshmi deki Shloka Padena Goshani. After seeing the places of Lord Krishna's pastime, Sri Chaitanya went to Sheshai, where he saw Lakshmi and recited the following verse. So Sheshai, Vishnu, is a deity where Vishnu is lying on Sheshanag, the serpent, the transcendental serpent, who is Balaram, and surrounded by all the different devas offering prayers like that. It's a very beautiful deity. And there's an interesting story about this deity in Srila Prabhupada's pastimes. Srila Prabhupada was on the parikrama, or in the parikrama, going around Braj with his spiritual master and with the disciples of his other disciples of his spiritual master. And they were stopping to see the Sheshai Vishnu deity. So they were supposed to go out that evening to see this deity. So they made an announcement. Whoever wants to go see the deity of Sheshai should go to see the deity. At the same time, they made an announcement. This is the last night that Bhakti Siddhanta Shil Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is going to be spending with us. So you have a choice. You can see him or go to see the deity. And Prabhupada, of course, chose to stay with his spiritual master. And that's why his spiritual master noted he likes to hear. So Prabhupada was thinking that it's much more important to have association with the Guru than it is to go to see the deity. Because what will you see with your eyes? Of course, Prabhupada had pure spiritual vision, obviously. He's a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shaktivesh Avatar, like that. So, but at the same time, he was showing us that it's unlimitedly more valuable to have the association of a pure devotee than to go see the deities. Because you can actually see the deities through the words of the pure devotee. This is very, very interesting. That's called Mantra Murti Amurti Kam. So, interesting pastime, Srila Prabhupada. He showed us the most important thing is to take association with a pure devotee. And we're so fortunate in the Krishna conscious movement, we can take association with Srila Prabhupada continually by service, by hearing, etc. Most fortunate. You don't understand how fortunate you are if you compare yourself to what's going on in the rest of the world, what's going on in America, what's going on in Australia, what's going on in Fiji, all these other places. We're the most fortunate. Yate sujata charanambaro uroham staneshu pita shanaipriya dothimahi karkasheshu tenatavim attasetan yatatena kim svet kurpadibir brahmatidir bhavadhayusham naha. O dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breast, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our life rests only in you. Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path. Of course, this is the verse from the Bhagavatam 10:31-19, spoken by the gopis when Krishna left them in the midst of the Rasa Lila. And that's to develop their sense of attachment. The separation makes the heart grow stronger. Tabe Kela Tirtha Deki Pandiravana Ila Yamuna Parana Bandra Badra Vona Gela. Afterwards, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Kela Tirtha and then went to Bandiravana. After crossing the Yamuna River, he went to Badravana. So these are all forests. When it has a vana after, it means a forest. So in Bandiravana, Bandiravana, Ravana, not Ravana. Bandiravana. I have to be careful. We pronounce these words. Bandiravana. There was actually a marriage between Radha and Krishna, and Lord Brahma performed the marriage between Radha and Krishna. It's a very beautiful display there if you go there today. It's a very quiet place near the Yamuna River. And they have a deity of Krishna and Radha and Krishna and Lord Brahma and a marriage ceremony. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, it is said that Shri Krishna and Balaram used to play at Caitanya with the cowherd boys during their entire day. Madhya Yashoda had to call them to take their baths and eat their lunch. Shri Vanadeki Puna Gila Lohavana Mahavana Giya Koila Janmastana Dharashana. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then visited Srivana and Lohavana. He then went to Mahavana. These are all forests, of course, and saw Gokul, the place of Lord Krishna's early childhood pastimes, and that's where Krishna actually appeared. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. I guess I'll explain it right now. So Krishna actually was born or appeared in Gokul. Now, you know the standard story that Krishna appeared in Mathura as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, and then he was transported to Gokul by Vasudeva. But the actual story is that an expansion of Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, and Krishna was actually born from Yashodamai. And so when that expansion was brought to Vrindavan, the expansion entered, or I don't want to use the word merge, but sometimes the acharyas use the words merge, into Brajendra Nandana, that is the son of Braj, Nandanandana, Brajendra Nandana, Yashoda Nandana. And it appeared in Vasudeva's mind that he had actually brought Krishna to Vrindavan, but actually he brought an expansion of Krishna to Vrindavan. And Yashodamaya gave birth to twins, one of whom was Yogamaya, who later on Kamsa attempted to kill, and she flew into the air, manifested her form as Durga, and said to Kamsa, the eighth son of Vasudeva and Devaki is elsewhere, and he is going to kill you. Anyway, of Srivana, also called Bilvavana, the Bhakti Ranakara states, Devata Pujita Bilvana, Shubham Maiha, the beautiful forest of Bilvana, is worshipped by all the demigods. About Lohavana, the Bhakti Ratnakara fifth wave states, Lohavana Krishnera Adbhutago Charana Eta Loha Jangasure Vode Bhagavan. At Lohavana, Lord Krishna used to tend cows. The demon named Lohajanga was killed at this place. Mahavana is described as follows in the Bhakti Ratnakara fifth wave. So right now we're actually having like a mini Brajmando Parikrama. Dekananda Yashoda Laya Mahavane Kadeka Sri Krishna Chandrera Janmasthala Shri Gokula Mahavana Dwe Ekahaya. Behold the house of Nanda and Yashoda and Mahavana. See, the birthplace of Lord Krishna, Mahavana, and the birthplace of Lord Krishna Gokul are one and the same. So Gokul is within Mahavana. Anyway, Yamala Arjuna Bangari Dekila Seistala Prema Veshi Parvoramana Haela Thala Mala. Upon seeing the place where the twin Arjun trees had been broken by Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was moved to a great ecstatic love. Of course, that's the Damodar pastime, where Lord Damodar was tied around his belly to the grinding mortar, was dragging the grinding mortar between the twin Arjun trees, and they fell down. Those twin Arjun trees had been two demigods' sons, Nalakubera Manigriva, and Manigriva, and they were cursed by Narada Muni because they were bathing naked in the Mandakini Ganges in front of Narada Muni. So they had to stay like that for 100 celestial years, a long time, and finally They were knocked down by Krishna, and Lord Chaitanya was visiting that particular place, and he was moved to a great ecstatic love when he remembered that pastime and visited that place. Gokula dekiya haila mathura nakare, janmastana deki rahe sevipra gore. After seeing Gokula, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Mathura, where he saw the birthplace of the Lord. While there, he stayed at the house of the Sanodiya Brahmana. Lokera Sangata Deki Mathura Chadya Ekande Krura Tirthe Rahila Siya. Seeing a great crowd assemble at Mathura, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left. He remained in a solitary place. Akrura Tirtha is also mentioned in the Bhakti Ratnakara, fifth wave. Indeka Srinivasa he Akrura Gramate Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Chilena Nibrite. Srinivas, look at this village of Akrura. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed there in a solitary place. So Aradina Ela Prabhu Dekite Brindavana Kolia Radde Snana Kaila Ara Prashkandana. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Brindavana and took his bath at Kaliya Lake and Prashkandana. Kaliya Radha is mentioned in the Bhakti Ratnakara, fifth wave. E Kaliya Tirtha Papa Vinashya Kaliya Tirtha Stane Bahu Karya Siddhi Hoya. When one takes a bath in Kaliya Radha, he is freed from all sinful reactions. One can also be successful in business. Wow. You businessmen, you hear this? By bathing in Kaliya Radha. Of course, that's where Krishna chastised the Kaliya serpent by dancing on the Kaliya serpent's heads and knocking him practically unconscious and leaving his footprints on the heads of the Kaliya serpent. And then he sent the Kaliya serpent along with the Kaliya serpent's wives to Fiji. So those of you who are in Fiji, you're protected by Kaliya Nag, who is a devotee right now. That is pretty nice. Kaliya Nag is a devotee. Okay, so we went from 48 to 71 today. And let us take, first of all, stop sharing, and we will take some questions from all of you. And one thing, we're going to have to end exactly in 9 minutes because I got people coming to see me all day long. It's been a really intense day with a lot of people coming to see me. Hold on a second, I got to allow you all to unmute yourselves. Hold on a second. Well, let's see. This is not exactly cooperating. Okay. Somehow the computer is not cooperating so much with me today. Must be bad karma. There we go. There we go. Okay, so you are now officially allowed to unmute yourselves, and you can ask questions in the chat window. If I can pull up the chat window, because this computer is, the mouse on the computer is having a fit. I guess I didn't feed the mouse enough prasadam today. Hold on a second. I got to look at the chat. All right, I should be able to figure the chat window now. I can't find the chat window. Because I'm having some trouble. Whoops, I thought I was having trouble. Okay, there's an option here, Alt H. I can pull up the chat window. There we go. So anyway, so unmute yourselves, or write in your chat, or raise your hand and tell me what questions you have to ask. Or Can anyone have any questions? Oops. Oh, Nalini Kant. Okay, you can unmute yourself and ask a question. Wait, can you unmute yourself? I'm having trouble with this computer today. I gotta. Give me a second. It's giving me a lot of headaches. Today was definitely a bad day for the computers. Okay, I think you can unmute yourself now. Try it. Can you? No? Unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Gurudev.
Yeah, you did it. Hadi-bo. Okay.
Hare Krishna Gurudev. Please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All
Uh,
glories to Prabhupada. So you have a question?
yes, Gurudev. Uh, as as you explained how Krishna takes birth in Gokul and his expansion takes birth in Mathura, but when Krishna leaves for Mathura, Mother Yashoda accepts that he's her foster son, and that's why she let him go.
Yeah, yeah, she thinks that he's the foster son, and that's Yogamaya. But actually, she's the real son of Yashodamaya. But actually, what another point is when Krishna apparently leaves Vrindavan, he doesn't actually leave Vrindavan because Krishna remains in Vrindavan and his expansion leaves Vrindavan. So Krishna doesn't leave Vrindavan, but he appears to leave in Vrindavan. In his unmanifest form, he remained unmanifest to our eyes. He's manifest to himself, obviously. But in his unmanifest form, he stays in Vrindavan.
Okay, Gurudev, thank you.
So Krishna doesn't leave Vrindavan. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Goloka eva nivashati akilatma bhuta. Hari Krishna Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, take his initiation in Koshi as well? No, he didn't. So this Zoom is causing me all sorts of problems, blinking in and out. Who else has a question?
May I ask a question, Gurudev?
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada spoke about Lokanath Goswami in Vrindavan establishing the Gokulananda temple, but there's also some description that his personal deities were Shri Shri Radha Vinod. So
Yeah, he had his personal deities, Radha Vinod, who traveled with him around his neck. He kept them around his neck. But the temple he established was the Gokulananda temple.
thank you, Gurudev.
That answers the question? Yeah, because they're, because I can't compare myself to Lokanath Goswami, but just like I installed the deities of, this thing is freezing all the time. I installed the deities of Radha Golokananda, but I have personal deities of Giriraj, Radha Kunja Bihari. Boy, this thing is blinking off and on. Some problem with this computer or with Zoom or something like that. Okay, I hope that explains it. I think I better leave now because I got some people coming now 1 minute to see me, and the computer is blinking at me or the Zoom is blinking at me, and I can't figure out what's happening, and my computer is having a nervous breakdown right now. So I'm fine. It's just my computer is just like
Must
I
be
need to give
Corona,
my
Gurudev.
I need to give my computer some medicine. What's that?
Must be coronavirus, Gurudev.
Yeah, my computer has a virus. I don't think it's a virus. It's been giving me this computer and my printer been giving me trouble all day long. So Okay, so we'll see everybody. We'll see everybody tomorrow, same time, same station. We'll continue with Lord Chaitanya's travel around Vrindavan. All glories to His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If I can end, all right, end the meeting for everybody. Let's see. I can't even get out of Zoom now. This is really funny. Hold on, let's see if this works.